and welcome to episode 249.
Season 9, episode 29.
Of Two Mr. P's and a podcast with me, Mr. P.
And the other Mr. P.
Welcome back, guys. We hope you're well. Hope you're doing all right as we record this in the midst of Sats week. So we hope everyone's surviving it, getting through it all right. Same old, every year we have the same conversation.
I think we had it last week.
Yeah, I saw so many posts like, remember Sats and don't define you. It's like, if you were 10, if you do Sats the right way, kids wouldn't be bothered. It only becomes an issue if you make it an issue. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't test what you like at sport, this, that and the other. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, but I think that's more. I mean,
you put one.
Yeah, but I don't mind that. That's not that's just I said. I can't remember what I said. Maybe just a reminder, which is true. People do need reminding because the problem, what you might not grasp in terms of, I mean, this is the first year that I've not been in Sats in 14 years.
Yeah.
I get that.
I get the pressure.
Know the surplus to requirement.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop the data. You need the data.
What I'm saying is, like, you can do it in the right way where children don't feel the pressure.
Oh, well, I hope that everyone does that. I'd like to.
No, but they do. That's the problem. That's the issue with it, is you've got 10-year-olds sitting exam conditions for a tests that are designed to catch kids. I do get it, but it's so bloody pointless. It should. Anyway.
You just digging out my socials?
Yeah.
Not even a minute in?
On to the next one. What else have you posted? What else can I slag off? Well, no, we hope you're all right. Quick reminder, because we're just over a week away from our biggest live podcast show ever at the Lowry in Salford.
How are the nerves?
Yes.
Are they jangling?
A little bit, yeah.
Do you know,
it's been too long.
It has felt like a minute, hasn't it? Yeah. You didn't feel it at the time because I think didn't we do like a solid week and then we had a week off and then we had another one, and it was kind of like still felt fresh. And when you finish your show, you always think, "Oh, I'll do this in my sleep." But how long's it been? 2 months? 3 months?
Well, February, yeah.
Yeah, 3 months.
3 months, but anyway, if that didn't convince you to get your tickets, bloody hell. But yeah, there's only a handful left. Last day of the half term, so come and have a good giggle with us. I am going over a few things, trying to familiarise myself with it all. So head to the website, 2mrpspodcast.com, where you can also share stories. So if you are coming to one of our shows, because we've got another run of shows in October and then February, you can submit your stories. And we'll if they're funny, we'll read them out during the show. But yeah, I think I'm more nervous because there's a lot of friends and family coming to this one.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's always a different feel to the.
My head teacher was fishing for tickets.
Really?
Yeah, so I've sorted her out with a couple.
You sorted her out with a couple. Risky.
Yeah. Well, why? I don't say anything bad.
I wouldn't want my head teacher there.
Well, no, but mine sounds so.
Mine.
Good.
Mine sound. What about mine?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
No, it's gonna be class, and it's gonna be, it'll be great because we've got, our mum and dad are there. We've got friends, like you said, colleagues, former.
Well, you've got a few of your friends that you've never allowed to one of our shows before.
It's very true. Yeah, I've got a couple of my closest coming, and yeah, they.
And I've always said, why don't they come along? And you're like, nah.
No. Well, they were going to come to the first one, and then I don't know. I felt like I just thought, nah, just because I know what they're like. But then I'm at the point now where I'm like, listen, we're on the cusp of selling the big room at the Lowry out. You've got to come and see it.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they think.
No, because I'm doing a school podcast at the minute. I'm loving it. Got some of the kids doing a school podcast, and it's great. I'd encourage every school to start a school podcast because the kids absolutely love it. So that's where we had Rev Coles on.
Yeah.
So if you go onto my school website, davianprimary.com, you can listen to the podcast, and it's just such a good way of getting kids to have a bit of a purpose. So we plan it, the kids go home and write the scripts, and then we record it. It's great. Anyway, right. So where should we start?
Absolute dream day for you, that as well. How long does it take?
Just an hour or so.
You'd drag that out for a bit longer as well, wouldn't you?
Nah, you know me. I'm not one to.
Oh, here he is.
Skive. Right, what's the wildest thing you've witnessed at a wedding?
Well, we do like a wedding tale.
We do like a wedding tale. So I've got a Reddit thread of some of the wildest things you've witnessed at a wedding. Bit of alliteration there. So go on before we start. Wildest thing. I've seen you in some states at weddings. I think one of the wildest was Noons, where someone dived across the dance floor, 2-footed Brexit tackle on Claire, completely wiped her out.
Didn't someone take Nana Maureen down as well?
Someone did take Nana Maureen down at a wedding. That was Ferg's wedding.
Ferg's wedding, sorry, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, wedding.
I've never seen it like kick off at a wedding.
I've never seen anything majorly go wrong, like badly go wrong. I've heard about stuff, but I don't think nothing major. I mean, obviously the people get drunk and stuff.
Yeah,
I've been drunk at weddings, but I've not got the worst wedding record.
Out of who?
Just out of every, like, as in, I have good memory of the majority of weddings.
Do you?
I don't know what your problem is. I know what this is about.
The last two I've been with you, I think you've been carried home.
No way.
Charlie's and Noons.
Okay, you can put that right. Yeah, but you talk about I mean, it was right near the end.
Still, the facts speak for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at Charlie's.
Hey,
he put me on the big table, and I had to step up.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
it's true.
Always an excuse. I'll hold my hands up. At Claire's brother's wedding, that was the worst drunk I've been since. I don't think I've ever been that. But I think that was when I had to retire. I had to really rein it in. Sam Fender, Olivia Dean, and I'll tell you why. Because we all stayed in like an apartment, and I got up in the night going for a wee, and pretty much was very close to weeing on one of Claire's brother's heads because I thought it was a toilet.
Would have loved to have heard that.
And I literally like started stumbling, and all I heard was, "I'm not the toilet." So sorry. Right, here we go. So see if these are any better. So DJ and father of the bride got into a fist fight when the father found the DJ hooking up with the bride's 17-year-old sister.
Ooh.
Yeah. A kid was running around and crashed into the camera, breaking the lens. The camera guy was in tears.
That's tough.
That's a sickener, isn't it? That's a responsibility there.
I mean, did he have control? Did he leave the camera?
Yeah.
You know, did he leave the camera in a position where it was under threat? Because you've got, listen, weddings, especially when people put free bars on, that's another thing. It's another thing. Both those weddings with free bars. And listen, you know, common people, I'm like, fill your boots.
So a child pushing the 4-tier cake off the table and it going everywhere. Bride and groom were furious. Not super scandalous, but the wildest thing I've seen. That would be a sick. A lot of these are involving children. A guy who had been stalking the bride for years tried to sneak into the wedding ceremony, got recognised by some of her friends and stopped. He then tried to force his way past to get her. The police were called, and now there's a criminal record and a restraining order against him.
That's the biggest wedding scandal. Our tosser of an uncle when he got married for the second time, and all the gifts got stolen.
Yeah, all the gifts got stolen.
There's like a big wedding in this gazebo outside, and literally every single gift, envelope, money, all went, didn't it?
Snatched, didn't it? Yeah.
That was brutal. I mean, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Bride had always dreamed of driving herself to church in an open-top sports car. The wind blew a veil over her face and she crashed the car.
Wow.
She didn't wear a seatbelt because she was worried about creasing the dress, and so face-planted the steering wheel and broke her nose. Blood and snot all over the very expensive vintage family wedding dress. We were waiting at the church with no clue what was happening because she was alone in the car. I shouldn't laugh at this, but the ceremony was cancelled because there was another wedding booked later. The venue banned food, etc. was non-refundable and wasted. The bride had no insurance, and so the car cost thousands on top of the wasted venues.
Oh,
Huge arguments and fights outside the church between the families, with tensions high after comments about leaving him at the altar. Once she recovered, she wanted it all again exactly the same. They split up.
not shocked.
Yeah.
But obviously you feel for it. But at least he got out without having the divorce fees.
True.
Do you know what I mean? Every cloud.
Yeah. I was in a wedding where the officiant requested a moment of remembrance in honour of the bride's father, Larry. His name was not Larry. Also, he was not dead. He was sitting in the front row. Before anyone asks, he did not walk her down the aisle. They didn't have the best relationship. Her grandfather gave her away. That's funny. The groom's stepdad got drunk and called his mum a bitch, so the groom punched his stepdad in the mouth. I was part of a catering crew and one of our guys helped break it up. Even more awkward, I lived in an apartment next to the groom.
See, that's one thing I always think is if the bride or groom get too bad.
Yeah.
That I'm always like, how has that even happened? I mean, like, if there's one wedding in the history where I was solid, was my wedding.
Well,
because you know what I mean. I think like you want everyone else. I mean, there was a lot of people levered at my wedding, but it was like you can't be the worst there, because you've seen that picture, haven't you? Where is it the wife or the mother-in-law's like feeding the husband?
Yeah. I was a photographer and my best friend at the time did not want to have me taking photos because I was the best man. Additionally, his soon-to-be wife absolutely loathed me, though she loathed everyone, including him. She instead hired a best friend and gave us something like £1,000 to take photos. This was in the 90s. The friend shows up, mind you, she had zero experience taking photos, and she's purchased several disposable cameras. For you young folks, most of these cameras had 800 speed film, which usually meant they were okay for mostly lifeless outdoor photos. Literally everything else would be super grainy or dark as S word. I tell them I hope they have a better plan, but the wife goes to bat for a friend whilst yelling at me. Okay, I think good luck with all that. 2 weeks later, of course, they come to me asking if there's any way to fix the photos. She just got back from Walmart. The wife is in tears. Of course, there's nothing to be done. I will never forget, though, the wedding taking place and a friend cranking the camera down non-stop every few seconds. Click, click, click.
Yeah, you wouldn't be getting love actually there, would you? I look quite grainy.
Yeah. A childhood friend at an outdoor wedding at a popular historical building / community centre. Reception moved inside. Everything is antique and it's quite beautiful. The wild part was at the end. The parents of the bride would not let the bride and groom leave for their wedding night / honeymoon until all the tables and chairs were put away. Family members and friends of both bride and groom, including me, hastily got conscripted to help out. Night ended at like 10 or 11 with bride leaving crying and shaking in anger while husband desperately tried to calm her down. All of us still there threw rice over them in the dark as they left for their ride to honeymoon suite. Bride's parents had no chill and still thought they were in the right. Bride and groom held hostage at their own wedding by their parents.
That's just grim.
Shock, isn't it? Groom gave a speech about when he first started dating the bride and our parents didn't like him. He mentioned dates and myself and a few others started doing the math in our heads. They didn't like you because you were 21 and she was 16.
I mean,
oh, this is
you'd be going too far for that.
This surely didn't last. The bride forgot the groom's name and called him by the ex-boyfriend's name.
Oh, she rossed.
Yeah, she rossed it.
She rossed it.
The silence that followed was so loud, I think I actually heard the marriage certificate self-destruct.
I might have just got you in the doghouse, you know.
Why?
Who did you go and see James Morrison with?
Not Claire.
Ah, see, nah.
Why?
Because obviously, you know, just complete side note, myself, Kim, and two of our close friends went to see James Morrison at the weekend. We're all huge fans of James Morrison. He was brilliant. If you get a chance to see him, he's amazing.
Obviously not the footballer.
No, you're going in a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
which we discussed. And I said to Claire, I said, oh, well, she said, how was James Morrison? I said, oh, his voice live is unreal. Oh, you know that anyway, don't you? You've been to see him. And she sat there for a while. She's like, have I? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Lee definitely went with you. I'm pretty sure. And then she was like, I don't think I have seen him. And I went, surely you have. Surely. And then, yeah, sorry.
That's just compounded it because already today.
I know.
She
She
told
told
you
me that, yeah.
So we're at the gym and Claire went to do a reformer class. And then someone was like, oh, are you Mr. P's wife? Yeah, I used to work with him at Next. And we'd been on a couple of dates back in the day.
Oh yeah, Lee Mack, wasn't it?
It was Lee Mack, yeah. Back before he did 1%.
Oh, that's your doghouse chances.
Yeah. That's me for the night. Nah, she's not martyred. She's not martyred. It is what it is. We've all got a history.
We have indeed. I mean, I couldn't afford concerts though. Like none of my history's at concerts.
Oh no,
Mine's at
I don't go to many.
Don't go Mega Bowl.
Went to a wedding of a friend. After the meal, they gave guests small souvenir boxes with a little personalised thank you note, coupled with a small chocolate-smelling, chocolate-looking hand soap. A couple of hours later, a kid was found in the bathroom, projectile puking a mix of chicken nuggets, hand soap, and foam. Poor little guy ate two. They had to make an announcement to warn people it was soap and not to eat it.
Oh, I mean, after one,
Yeah,
you'd surely be like, something soapy going on.
this is grim, but I'll read it. Bride's dad dropped dead of a heart attack on the dance floor during the reception.
Jesus.
That's that. Because then your wedding anniversary.
Yeah,
is just gonna
everything.
be
I mean,
marked. That would be.
You'd potentially have to get it annulled.
Yeah, and do it again.
And then just do it, go Vegas or something, create some new memories, go full hangover. That would be, yeah, that's not the one.
This was decades ago. Attended a wedding.
Also, what song?
I know, I was thinking that.
What song? Come on Eileen's always one, because older gentlemen really get into that.
Oh, Tiger Feet.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what song came into my head?
Oops, Upside Your Head.
Sophie Ellis-Bextor.
Oh, no. You're just having a play on words there.
Well, again, it was just the first thing that came to my head.
Or Crying at the Discotheque.
Yeah. What's the other one? What's the dance song? Evacuate the... Oh, no, it's Evacuate the...
Yeah, that was Cascada, wasn't it?
I don't think it was that. Decades ago, attended a wedding with my parents in a little chapel in the woods, a long drive from anywhere. The bride came down the aisle to a piece of beautiful music I'd never heard, and I heard my father gurgle and watch him turn crimson, my mother clutching his arm to keep him from making a scene, shot grumbling from many of the other guests. Turns out the professional music was a famous piece by Wagner, used as thematic music by Hitler's propaganda, and about a third of the wedding attendees were Holocaust survivors. Oh my God.
Do your due diligence
I know,
there.
Do a bit of research. Most of us left after the ceremony.
That's unbelievable.
The groom projectile vomited halfway through his vows. Luckily, it was an outdoor ceremony, so he ran off into the grass to do it. But poor guy was dry heaving on his hands and knees for a good 5-10 minutes before coming back to finish his vows and kiss the bride.
Oh, no.
In sickness and in health.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
We had a couple of shots. We both did similar vibes, didn't we, before both our weddings? Like, we went to that pub round the corner of the church.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we did it for yours, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I was a bit tipsy on the...
I'm sure I had like 2 pints and a shot.
Yeah, I had a few shots.
And obviously didn't have too much brekkie. Didn't want to spill anything.
And of course, if you've got a funny wedding story, we'd love to hear it. Right, here's another thread. This was on Threads about when people mispronounce famous sayings.
Oh yeah, I've done these. Yeah.
Right. Yesterday, I saw someone on here say, "It just dawned on me."
As in dawned on me. Done. I like that.
It just dawned on me.
Dun.
And I'm still losing my effing mind over it. So that was the original to it, and then people have just gone. This reminds me of when I heard a girl say, "I don't want to do anything Jurassic." Can you guess?
Yeah. Drastic.
Yeah. I've heard sickle cell disease called sick as hell disease.
Okay.
It's a doggy dog world.
Doggy dog.
Oh, yeah. Chester drawers, as in the name. The name's Dawes.
Chester, yeah.
Drawers. Chester.
The name's Draws. Chester Draws.
Good God, I thought that God knows, as in God, N-O-S-E.
Oh.
Instead of God knows was the worst possible one, but I think that's Don's one.
God knows.
Yeah. Reminding me of when one of my exes said, with his chest, mind you, "Waste not, what not?" And I was just like, what?
What is that?
It's want not. Waste not, want not.
I've never
And
heard it.
You never heard of waste not, want not?
No? What does that even mean?
Well, don't waste what you wouldn't want. Not waste not, what not.
Oh God, that's so confusing.
Someone once typed to me, to eat your zone. Go on.
Yeah, to each his own.
Yeah, to each their own. Oh, I love these. My pet peeve is when someone says, I'm a part of X. I'm a part instead of a part.
Yeah.
No, I'm so tired of people having their interest piqued or being unfazed, as in UNPHASED. But that one's much worse. They might as well be back to school.
Might as well.
Yeah. I've seen some refer to a diva as being a prima donna. Like pre,
Yeah.
the single.
Free and then, yeah.
Yeah. All of this rigmarole. Right from the gecko.
Right from the gecko, you're annoying me.
I thought up and at them was up and Adam.
Up and Adam.
Yeah.
Go on.
I used to know someone who said spurt at the moment.
I might have said that.
Yeah. I'm so tired of having people type in weary when what they really mean is leery. Okay. One time I had a friend who kept saying she was upset with something until I realised she was trying to say obsessed with a perfume. I'm upset with this perfume. We're not friends anymore, but I think about it often. And then someone summarised it by saying this is what happens when people don't read. I do love them.
They are good. And I think we've both done plenty of those.
Yeah,
In the
I'm bad
past.
by just mixing them up.
Yeah, no skin off my teeth.
Teeth, yeah.
Yeah, and I said too much medicine killed the cat.
Yeah.
But it was curiosity, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, so before I do this week's blind ranking, which is going to be a tough one for you, I think. I actually really enjoyed last week, so I'm going to do one similar to last week's next week.
Okay.
But this week is a bit more... It's just, yeah, it's going to be tough for you. But this was posted on the Two Mr. P's Facebook group. So if you are not on the Two Mr. P's in a podcast Facebook group, loads of discussions, loads of posts, a really lovely sort of vibe there. I think people help each other out. You can post anonymously. Even if you're having a difficult moment at work, people comment and try and help you out. But this was a post. I'm not going to say the name, even though they did put the name, but I'm not going to put the name. It just says diabolical leader. So I just want your thoughts on this because
Okay.
the comments underneath were a mixed bag.
All right. Okay.
When I was in college doing work experience in a school, it was lunchtime and the teacher whose class I was helping in said I could go into the staff room for lunch. Just as I sat down ready to eat my lunch, the teacher came back in and said, our head teacher said you're not allowed to eat lunch in the staff room as you are not a member of staff here. So for the whole week I was on work experience, I had my lunch walking around the block until lunch was over.
How old was she?
Well, it says college, I'm guessing.
See,
Well, then-
if they're still a student, so if it was like my kids doing work experience, then I'd probably agree with that.
Yeah.
So if they're not
Under 16.
under 18,
Under 18.
under 18, I don't think they can be in the staff room
I'd agree with that.
just because it's a safe space
I agree.
for the teachers.
Yeah.
But like when we have, so going back to my first ever placement as a trainee teacher, so we're talking 21 years ago now. No, actually, it might even be longer.
Kevin Hart would say, damn.
So I qualified when I was 21, 18, 19.
20 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm talking first placement.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
First year,
So
when I was
22, maybe, yeah.
18 or 19.
23, 22.
So we there was about six of us, six students all got put. The school was weird. The school was weird, right?
Have you been back and done training there?
No. So they didn't do whole class teaching.
Right.
Have I spoken about this?
Not that I can quite place.
So basically, you'd have a class of children, and what the teacher would need to do is teach the input to a group of 6 kids 5 times. Right, and you had to do, it was so weird. It was so weird.
That is a bit wild.
So we initially were allowed in the staff room, and we, as a group of like, there was maybe one more, no, there was 2 maybe more mature students, and there was like 3 our age, 18.
Yeah.
So we just have a laugh in the staff room, and then we got the chat, and someone came in and said,
And were the other staff in the staff room while you were having it?
but we it was just a bit of banter between us.
Yeah, of course.
And they were like, "You're having too much of a laugh in the staff room. The staff don't like it. You either respect, basically like come in with be miserable, or you don't come in the staff room." So then we just congregate in a classroom. But I was like, so whenever we have students, if they're university students training teachers, they're always allowed in the staff room.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Visitors are always allowed in the staff room.
Yeah.
But when we have kids on
work experience like year 9, 10.
then no.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I'd let them see the staff room because that's always a treat.
Yeah, but this is the thing. It's a mystical. It ruins all that. I remember when I was at school, I imagined like pool table at Ambrose. Like pool tables, a bar.
It was dream stuff. Yeah,
and actually, it was just like every other staff room, couple of tables.
No staff rooms, mint.
Some modern ones are quite good.
Why? You're just talking like coffee machines?
Coffee machines. We've got an air fryer in ours now.
Have you?
Yeah.
See, a dartboard would be mint.
Dartboard, yeah.
Have you seen a dartboard in one?
No, I've not seen a dartboard. A hot tub.
Shut up.
No, I'm joking.
Oh my God.
Well, we'd have time for that.
Well, no, but God, imagine.
It would be great, though.
Oh, it would be great.
Imagine just a little soak. And to be fair, you'd just do it after school, wouldn't you?
You'd feel for the caretaker there. There'd be a lot of upkeep there. Yeah. Right, this week's blind ranking. You are going to blind rank some school red flags.
Okay.
So basically, what this is going to be is you're going to have to rank the one that you think's the worst red flag that you could hear.
Right.
8 being the one where you're like, right,
I can do it.
Okay, yeah.
Borderline.
Okay. So 1, when you go for the,
there's
8.
Right.
And I've missed some out, but 1, we're looking for someone who can wear many hats.
7.
Yeah, I don't think that's too.
I don't think that's a school thing. I think that's just a teacher thing.
You have to attend mandatory well-being sessions. I know that he's going to be clawing up that leaderboard.
Yeah, I'll put it at 2.
2, he's gone big early. Expectations to answer emails / messages late at night.
It's a bad in that. Expectations. Does that mean it's expected, but if you don't, it's understood?
I mean,
I'll go 5.
5.
Maybe could have been higher that.
We're like a family here, said by senior leadership.
See, I've made a video about this.
I know.
And I got in a bit of trouble. I've been to schools. So there's a funny thing. So in that video, I say about if I don't get offered a brew, there's something about just not that I ever expect it, but there's just something about offering a drink to someone.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know what it is, but it tends to be that if I do get offered a brew, the schools there's a correlation. I've not done the actual research. But it's
not done the pie chart.
And I don't go to many bad schools. I've been to a couple, right? And they've never offered me a brew.
Right.
So it's just that. So
are you talking about the schools that offer you a brew
are the good ones?
Yeah, but where does this come into? We're like a family here. The ones that don't offer you the brew.
So I'm saying, like, when I go into school, they'll say like, "Oh, we'll best offer you." They'll joke about it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And they've joked about the family one. The family one gets people riled up though. But I just think no.
It's just a bit cringe, isn't it? Yeah.
Like most families are It's not something
You
to
do
aspire
hear it
to.
though.
You do hear it, and I get the sentiment behind it, but
It's trying to build morale, isn't it? But it's
but treat me as a professional.
right. So
We're a group of professionals here.
yeah,
That'd be
or just like we're legends here.
4.
Right.
Yeah.
Most teachers stay until at least 6 p.m.
Again, though, that's
It's shady.
yeah. There's an expectation on there, but as long as like you don't get reprimanded for doing it if you go before, so I'll go. Have I said 6?
You've not said 6.
I'll say 6.
Next one. Teachers buying basic classroom supplies themselves.
Yeah, this is something I have never done. I've never bought stations.
See, I used to. Me and Kim had used to have words about this when we'd go somewhere, and she'd go, "Oh, I just need to buy these for my class," and I'd go, "Well, surely that we shouldn't be paying for that."
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure, like even if it was just like I don't know, pencils.
If it's something for me, so if it's a pen for me, then yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I've never done it because. So yeah, that'd be up there. What have I got left?
So you've done 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you've got 1, 3, and
I might have to go in at 3 there.
1, 3, and 8 left.
Because where's the money going? You should have budget to provide the stationery.
Completely agree.
So that is a red flag because someone's spending too much.
Yeah.
If the head teacher's rocking in a Mercedes.
Yeah. No protected lunch or break time.
Oh God, that's 1.
1.
Yeah.
So in at 8,
Oh,
staff meetings that regularly run far over time.
probably should have gone higher.
Yeah. So just the order there. In at 8, staff meetings that regularly run far over time. 7, we're looking for someone who can wear many hats. 6, most teachers stay until 6 p.m. 5, expectations to answer emails / messages late at night. In 4, we're like a family here. 3,
I don't know what it is. It just gives me the ick.
Teachers buying basic classroom supplies. 2, mandatory wellbeing sessions. And then 1, no protected lunch or break time. I don't think you've done too bad there. I think the staff meeting's running over. We're like a family here would be lower for me. Because the thing is, I get it. I completely get it. Where you're coming from, the ick factor about it. But if you ask me, like staff meetings running over, or the head, because it's normally SLT or maybe even the boss themselves who are going like, oh, we're like a family here. And I think it just makes them feel good. Like they're the mother hen of all of these.
Yeah, but I mean, it just then blurs boundaries. It forces a level of expectation. So it's like I can treat you like crap, but it's all right because we're family. And it's like no. Just going back to the basic. So what I used to do was I used to buy prizes.
Yeah, prize box, yeah.
Yeah, but I've never bought a pencil for a kid.
Oh, so
that for me is like. The school. That's what school.
Yeah, that is a must.
That's what school. If schools, yeah.
I mean, I used to. So when I at my last school, when I used to do any
I think prizes I did get some pencils as prizes.
Any sporting events that I used to go to, I used to just to incentivize the efforts. I'd say things like, "Oh, say it was normally if we were struggling in a competition, I'd try and say, listen, chocolate bars." Or get your chocolate bar if you score a goal or if you win a game.
Bottom of the league. If you win this league,
no, honestly, I used to just see, because what I always used to think was, and this is why I thought I was good at my job, was I had amazing teams for years, and then we had a bit of a tougher time, a little bit of a dip in talent, but I wanted them to come back and feel mint. Like, no matter, even if they got absolutely pumped 5-0, I'd say to them just something like, get a goal. I'd never go like get a throw in or get a corner, but I'd say get a goal or get a win or get a point.
Yeah.
And then for some way, I mean, there was times where I'd just lied. I just went, you won't believe it. They've put it down as 5-1. Do you know what I mean? And then the kids would be like, yes. Then they'd go home buzzing. I mean, they got 11, but they'd be getting a Milky Way the next day. Right, so before you go into your stories, last week I shared some hilarious test answers. And with it being Sats Week, I thought I'd stay on topic with some more. These are all random. They're not necessarily just like year 6 Sats. There's a couple of year 1, year 2s in there. But some great ones here. So, reading comprehension paper. Who raced against each other to be the first to the North Pole? A child's answer, Rudolph and Father Christmas. In a science paper, where is the sun at midday? Child wrote, Cornwall. Right? I looked at the child and gave them the look. He then nodded, crossed it out, and wrote Spain. A year 3 maths paper, after an answer, how do you know this answer? One pupil wrote, guess I'm smart. Year 3 comprehension, question. Name 3 creatures that live in Australia. Child wrote, kangaroos, koalas, Hugh Jackman.
Wolverine. Wolverine.
Brilliant. Couple of great year 2 ones here. Both on the please show your working question at the end. One child drew a picture of his head with an arrow pointing to it alongside, I knew it in my brain. Another one was a picture of hands with the arrows pointing to the fingers. Year 1 assessment. A word problem which read, Sam had 8 apples. He gave 5 to Tom. How many apples does he have left? I told the child he could draw a picture to help him, as he was looking very blank. A couple of minutes later, he had drawn a picture. Me. So what have you drawn? Him. An elephant and some chocolate. Oh, bless. Year 2 Sats. Draw the hands on the watch. Child had literally drawn a hand and wrist, so the watch was being worn. Then last 2. Maths Sat question. How many 15-seater minibuses are needed to take 48 people to the school football match? One child answered, 3 minibuses, 1 car. Wouldn't get the mark, but so deserves one.
Yeah.
And then last one, RE question. What did Jesus say to his disciples after the Last Supper? Child. Right then, boys, who's going to wash up? Oh, do you know what I'm saying? Those keep me so entertained. Oh, brilliant.
Well, on that thing, I've got a thread of some of the funniest comebacks. I mean, some of them are funny, some of them are just brutal, some of them are downright rude.
So we're talking burns here.
Not necessarily burns, just some of them are burns. Some of them are burns.
Some of them can be burns, some of them are just quick.
Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are ugly.
Okay.
Right,
I'm ready.
Having been told off by a colleague, a student said to him, "Oh, sir, cry me a river, build a bridge, and get over it," and then walked off. We were left speechless.
That's good, to be fair.
Me.
Is that part of the good?
Wait, so you can tell
I'm
me.
saying good.
Right.
I'll
You're gonna love some of these.
Good,
There's
bad, ugly.
Some of the banter's good. Me. The mocks are gonna be hard and they're gonna be long. Student. Giggity.
Good.
We're 2 for 2 here.
Yeah, good.
Uh,
I didn't know what you were going to say. When you were saying it, I was like, oh, this could go anywhere. I didn't realise we were going to hook out a giggity.
Yeah. I was yawning a lot during my year 11 lesson. A student asked me why I'm so tired. I answered honestly and said it's because I had a bad dream. They responded, "You had a nightmare? at your big age, and then proceeded to roll her eyes and continue with the work.
Year 11.
After English input where the children needed to write from the perspective of an animal held captive in a zoo, I said, "Can you imagine anything more depressing?" Child's response, "Yeah, you."
Yeah. Now we're teetering on bad.
Yeah. In reception class, we were discussing patron saints, naming St. George, St. Patrick, St. David. Asked if anyone knew any others. Girl puts her hand up very serious and straight-faced and said, "Sainsbury's."
Love it.
During a PSHE lesson about bullying, I acted out one of the TAs falling over outside and breaking their arms and legs. I asked the class, "What would you do if this happened?" A child put her hand up, slowly made gun fingers and said, "Finish her off." And then pretended to shoot her in the head.
Oh, how old?
It didn't, it's just a PSHE lesson.
Oh, finish it off. It was the gun fingers to me.
The gun fingers.
Absolutely brilliant. Oh, God.
Why do I still hear voices? A student. Because you have ears. This one's quite funny. A child said to another child, "Get back in your jar," to someone whose surname with pickles. I lost it. As this used to be my name. I've heard many jibes concerning the name, but never that one.
Oh, get back in your jar.
Back in your jar, pickles.
Pickles.
I overheard a girl say to a boy, "Do that again and I'll cut your balls off with a rusty spoon." Year 9, about to start reading To Kill a Mockingbird. The English class drama teacher, who was American, had set up ambient sounds of the South to play while she was reading and was introducing the book by saying things like, "I'm going to take you to the deep South and we're going to the back of time." After a couple of minutes of her doing this, the kid at the front very quietly, so only those next to her could hear, "Does that mean you're going to marry your cousin as well?" I burst out laughing and interrupted the mood by trying to reset. When I went to my first class at a boys' secondary school, the kids all started making roaring noises. I wondered why, then realised they thought my name was Mrs. Lion. They were disappointed to be told my real name was Mrs. Lyne, Lyne. Good job I didn't tell them my maiden name, as it was Cox. As a supply teacher on long-term cover, a pupil asked me what was up with their usual teacher. I replied he'd had an accident. He replied, "I think he's off work because he shit himself." I've been teaching for over 15 years, and this is the best one for me. A somewhat difficult year 6 boy came in for registration in the morning. He was given the dinner choices for the day. Turkey meatballs were on the menu. His response, "Oh, not fucking turkey meatballs. They smell like shit, look like shit, and taste like shit." No one else chose turkey meatballs that day. I said to a 6-year-old, "Why are you so noisy and not listening today?" "Because you pissed me off," was the reply. Just the brashness of it. Midway through teaching a class of year 8 pupils, a boy who didn't like my subject much had a light bulb moment. He said loudly, "Son of a..." There was a pause as he looked at me with his lips pursed for a B. Instead out came, "Son of a unicorn." I've been using "son of a unicorn" ever since.
Hell of a comeback. Close to a detention there and then just hooking themselves out of it. Like Elf.
Yeah.
Son of a nutcracker.
I worked in a behaviour school. The funniest for me was when a student who lost his rag in the lesson and stormed out the door before slamming it turned round and shouted, "F off, you MILF." He had no idea what it meant. Right, this one comes with the worst language award. Teaching sociology till year 12 a fair few years back. Me. It's important to know the policies of different political parties. So Does anyone know who the current Prime Minister is? Student. Oh, No, that's not his name. In an RE lesson in a Catholic school, I was teaching a reception class about the kingdom of heaven, how we should treat each other, behave towards each other, show love and kindness. After our activity, did a quick plenary to assess learning and asked the children, what must we do or be to enter the kingdom of heaven? One child responded, well, you'd have to be dead. Year 1 sorting common nouns into person, place or thing. I asked, where would I put shoes? A child said, in the cupboard. I asked a student why my muscles were under my arms, and one said, because of the bingo wings.
I think it's cause.
Yeah. Had a pupil called Michael Jackson. As I called his name on the register, there was silence. Then another pupil called out, he's on tour.
Could have been it. Could have been a few like.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, it would have been. A colleague releases the class row by row. Front row, off you go. Kid from the back tries the strides out with the front row. Excuse me, I said front row. I heard, miss. I identify as someone from the front row.
Oh, cheeky.
Yeah. A kid at school was asked by the teacher why their hand wasn't up when he asked the question. The kid replies, why would I put my hand up when I don't know the fucking answer? Do you know what? It's fair. It is fair.
Yeah, fair.
First day of primary school, 4-year-old boy came out the toilets with his shorts around his ankles, asked the nearest adult, so who's in charge of wiping arses round here?
Oh, yes. We might have a winner there. Unbelievable. Coming out like Susan Chad.
Put up a really horrific picture on the board of the character Hyde from Jekyll and Hyde. One of my year 9s instantly shouted, smash. Head teacher told a boy who was misbehaving, God is always watching. To which he said, what, even when I'm having a poo? Teacher reprimanded class and asked rhetorically, when you line up, where should your eyes be? Little girl, on the front of my face.
That's a cute one.
Yeah. While jogging around the playground to warm up before a PE lesson, a pupil was complaining their legs hurt. So I said, well, I can do it, and mine are much older, to which they replied, well, yours are more used to it then. And I really couldn't argue with that. I was a teaching assistant in a maths class. A teacher was trying to be really sarcastic and did the mini violin action with his hands and said, oh, what's this? A student replied, she having a wank?
Oh,
I think that might be my winner. I walked into a crowded classroom at lunch and said, is this detention? And the student said, well, look around. It sure as hell ain't Bible studies. I pointed out an error in a child's writing and she replied, oh, who are you? The punctuation police. At the end of a day's teaching, stood waiting for a child's parent. My year 3 pupil looked me up and down and said, how tall are you? About 5 foot? I replied, I'm actually exactly 5 foot. She looked at me again and said, well, that's a bit embarrassing, isn't it?
shade.
I was a year 11 tutor when with one of the most challenging girls in my class, she started playing up during the Leavers Assembly, and I started to get angst about reining her in without making a scene. Another pupil, possibly my favourite student ever, turned to me, reassuringly placed her hand on my arm and said, shh, tomorrow she's someone else's problem.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm a drama teacher and had to set cover for my year 7 class. I asked them to draw and annotate the stock characters in silent movies. Later that day, the safeguarding lead approached me with a picture one boy had drawn with no annotation. It was of a lady, stark naked, boobs, nipples, the lot. Upon seeing the name of the student, I was shocked. He was one of the most nicest, kindest, sweetest boys in the class. I caught with him later and asked him why he'd drawn the picture. He said very innocently, I only had time to draw one character. I said, yeah, that's fine, acknowledging it was a detailed drawing that he must have taken the whole lesson to draw. But why did you draw the character like that? He replied without batting an eyelid that the character was the damsel in no dress. Took me a second, then it registered he meant the damsel in distress.
Oh.
There was no further action taken.
No further action. Forgive that.
Talking about abstract nouns, a child said lava. I said, lava isn't an abstract noun. Remember, abstract nouns are things you can't touch. Well, you can't touch lava, otherwise you'd die. Touché. Touché.
Fair play.
In my first year, I had a rather challenging year 8 class for 2 different subjects. I gave behaviour points to a girl for jumping over a table. It was a favourite party trick. She was able to jump over food tech units too. Her response this time was, oh, you're so annoying. I replied with, it must just be like looking in a mirror. The entire class responded with, oh, you just got told.
Ah, nothing worse.
Year 4 class learned about Henry VIII, and the bigger you are, the richer you were. Pupil shouts, well, Mrs. Arnold, you must be very rich. That wasn't even to the teacher. Pupil shouts to the teacher about the TA, Mrs. Arnold.
That's brutal.
It was tidy up time in year 1. At the end of the afternoon, my usual TA was off sick, so we borrowed a TA for the afternoon, and she was unfamiliar with the layout of the classroom. She had various bits of cut-up paper and general bits of rubbish that needed to be disposed of, and asked the child entering the classroom, where's you been? To which the child said, I've just been toilet, miss. Overheard a student telling my colleague that she looked like an improper fraction.
What does it even mean?
I don't know. I love this. I love when other students come to your rescue. Student A, Miss, are we sticking this in our book? Before I even had a chance to utter a word, another student, where else are you sticking it? The ceiling? I nearly spat my coffee out. In response to a child being called gay, the child responded back to the other student, I'm as straight as the pole your mother dances on.
I mean, you've got to appreciate the quickness of the response there.
Year 4, Big Right, student asked me what SOS meant. I replied in my Essex accent, save our souls. Student response, how can you save our souls?
That makes no sense.
Around 15 years ago, I wrote in a year 2 child's book, not your neatest handwriting, and they wrote back, not yours either.
Oh, these are brutal.
Year 11, music, B-Tech lesson. I see you haven't started your work yet. Is there something you need? Yeah, miss. A coffee. Secondary school, overheard 2 lads that were bantering. Shut up, you have a dick like a Tic Tac. Yeah, that's why your mum's breath smells so good.
Oh, my goodness.
I told my year 6, I told my 6-year-old student to close his zipper because otherwise his birdie might fly out. He replied that that's not going to happen. The bird was nesting on 2 eggs. My year 4 maths class was going really well, and I was firing out questions. Hands were all up, answers coming thick and fast. I pointed to one boy with his hand up, thinking I was getting the next answer. And he went, Miss, my willy's tingling. I might finish on this one. Again, language warning here, because this uses the word. I'll go through the rest of them. I'll get this thread done. Head teacher had a child in a hold while escorting him down the corridor. I heard the screaming and popped my head out of the classroom. The head said to the child, what must the year 2s think of this? To which the child screamed out, they probably think you're a... What's going on with you today? Can you tell me why you're acting this way after some really poor behaviour? Yeah, well, I think it's because my balls are hairy, miss.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough. When asking 3 10-year-olds what on earth possessed them to crush and snort Love Heart sweets, their answer was, well, Skittles wouldn't crush small enough. Not quite the answer we're looking for. A fellow teacher friend got called a diabetic slut by a very angry teenager, to which she replied, "I am most definitely not diabetic." Not necessarily a comeback, but still makes me laugh. Teaching year 7 about forces in car crashes. I told about the time I was in a car crash. Student hand went up. "Miss, did you survive?" "No, I'm stood here teaching you as a ghost." A similar one here. An amazing comeback from a year 8 who'd had enough of comments about his weight. Student 1, "Mate, why are you so fat?" Student 2, "Because every time I sleep with your mum, she gives me a chocolate biscuit."
It's just unreal.
I know. A year 9 boy came to write the answer. Came to the board to write up the answer. There was a little mistake in what he wrote, and another student pointed out. He casually shrugged, going, "Schoolboy error." I once shouted at a boy in my year 6 class because he was continually disruptive day in, day out, despite all the strategies. His response in a high-pitched voice, "Ooh, shiver me timbers." That's when you know you've just got nothing
gone,
you can do. Game's gone. Game's gone. Covering a lesson and taking the register, I greeted each pupil with a "good morning," and the response from one pupil was, "Well, it would be a good morning if we weren't all here."
Not the way you want to start.
Not the best start to the day. I recently conducted a questionnaire about writing in school and asked a year 2 child how we could improve writing. He said, "Do less writing."
Thank you for your feedback.
After thoroughly going through the dangers of using a glue gun, one of my year 8 pupils looked directly into the nozzle as the glue wasn't working. I obviously pointed out that's what was dangerous and asked, "Have you got no common sense? How do you get to school without being run over every day?" He replied, "Well, my dad drops me off." Two students discussing what they wanted to be when they grew up. One student said she wanted to be a teacher. The other student, who rarely speaks above a whisper in class, responds, "Well, you'd actually have to know your times tables to be a teacher." It's hard.
When those quiet children pop up with a burn,
Yeah.
It's great scenes.
A year 7 pupil said something rude under his breath. The teacher said, "I beg your pardon," and the boy casually replies, "Specsavers do hearing aids as well, you know, miss." I work in a primary school. Year 4 goes swimming every Wednesday. I was going up the stairs and saw a year 4 boy returning to class. I asked him, "How was swimming?" Quick as a flash, he went, "Wet."
Thank you.
Saying, "You know the rules," and then having sung back to me,
And so do I.
More a backhanded compliment. I used to wear large dangly earrings. "I like your earrings, miss." I said, "Thank you. They remind me of Pat Butcher's." Asked the child to do something and they whipped out a Uno reverse card out of the pocket.
Oh, we've had that before, haven't we?
Offered a year 11 an apple before his GCSE exam and he said, "No thanks, I'm driving." I called a year 6 boy out for not getting on with his work. He protested. I looked at the friend next to him who looked over and confirmed he wasn't doing any work. He turned around as quick as a flash. "You should eat a cow the amount of grass you're eating." "Miss, do you need a spoon?" "Pardon?" "For your bowl haircut." I spoke quite sternly to a teenager and he turned around and went, "All right, settle, pal."
Settle, pal.
As head of year, I asked to speak to a year 8 boy again. As he left class, I heard him mumble, "She just can't get enough of me." A teen told me a joke in class. I said it was as old as the hills. He replied, "So is your face, miss, but we still get a laugh out of it." I asked if anyone knew Volta's first name. Jontra. That
was a cracker.
Right, guys, thank you so much for listening. As always, if you've got a funny story to tell, head to the website, twomrpspodcast.com, where you can share your stories and get your tickets for the live show. Follow us on the socials, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. and get joined in the chat on the Facebook group, the podcast Facebook group. We shall see you next week.
Take care.